Metaverse Mayors, it's coming to Upland. Are you ready to be a leader in the Upland Metaverse? As part of Genesis Week 2025, Upland announced that there are two important updates that are coming. These features are going to be targeted voting as well as parks and park structures. In this video, I'm going to talk about how these two things tie together and how it's going to make the Metaverse even more exciting. I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide. I'm here to unlock the secrets of the Upland Metaverse. On this channel, you can find everything you need to build your Upland empire. Expert tutorials, winning strategies, pro tips and tricks, and a lot more. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay ahead of the game. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the Upland Metaverse, that knowledge is truly your most valuable asset. Up until now, there have been a number of Upland-wide votes. Players who have verified their identity, built a structure on one of their properties, and set that as their home residence have been able to vote. Upland is now expanding upon this feature to enable targeted voting. Targeted voting is the act of ensuring that only a certain subset of Uplanders will be able to vote. So there could be votes for people who live in specific cities or neighborhoods, maybe people who even own specific types of assets, whether it be a specific block explorer, map asset, or anything else. Utilizing these assets, you can group Uplanders together based on the assets that they own. It was recently Father's Day, and several years ago, Upland had sold this #1 dad block explorer cap for Father's Day. It would make sense that the overwhelming number of people who own that block explorer might be dads. So looking out into the future, if I maybe wanted to create some sort of communities for dads, I could do that utilizing this block explorer. I could say anyone who owns this block explorer is now part of a club, and in the future I might be able to ask them questions via this targeted voting mechanics. Upland had said that in the long term, they look to have other players be able to create certain types of polls, but at the very beginning, it's going to be starting just with votes that Upland is creating. When it comes to electing mayors in cities or neighborhood leaders in specific neighborhoods, this targeted voting can also be used. You might want to make sure that only people who own a property in that specific neighborhood would be able to vote on who will be the neighborhood's leader. And this ties into the next feature of parks and park structures. These community parks and structures are going to be tied to a community account, which is going to be owned by Upland, but managed by the neighborhood leader. This means that Upland is going to create some sort of a joint account that the nominated leader or mayor will be able to have control of in order to be in charge of the decoration of these parks and park structures. The decoration of these parks doesn't have to be a one-man job, and the neighborhood leader is encouraged to share this account with other players in order to help them design and decorate these properties. When it comes to the topic of communities as well as parks, we start to think of ornamental plants, which is part of life coming to the Upland Metaverse. When you have plants on a property, you're going to have to feed them and cultivate them. When it comes to cultivation, this is a community task. In order to keep the plant alive, players will have to interact with it by clicking on it. This is a task that can be completed by any player, not necessarily the player who owns the plant itself. So having a neighborhood park is something that everyone within the neighborhood can partake in. It's not just connecting this to life, but it also connects to residents. Communities that create things like parks and other communal services are going to be able to attract more residents to their neighborhood. Check out this next video to learn everything you need to know about residents. So we can start to see how parks and targeted voting are also connected to other features like life and residents, and a lot more. There's a lot to be excited for, looking forward to the second half of 2025. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.